human beings. Each and every one of us. This must not go on. This injustice must end.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Robbie with Open World Games, and we are taking a look at the futuristic open world games coming out in the next year or two, and they include Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, Cyberpunk 2077, GTA 6 is possibly going into the future, and then also, don't forget, the Star Wars open world game. So as always, you can skip ahead by using the video guide in the description below. So let's say you're more interested about the Star Wars game, you can find out about that by skipping ahead. But guys, let's get straight into it. So I'm sure you saw it. The Deus Ex: Mankind Divided trailer was recently shown off. This game has no set release date yet, but it is coming to the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And yes, it is a sequel to Deus Ex: Human Revolution. In fact, this is the same exact development team from Human Revolution working on the new Deus Ex. I would definitely expect more from this game June 14th, around that time, during E3 2015. Hopefully we have a huge gameplay demonstration showing off the new gen visuals. But yes, it is open world. It's going to take place first and foremost in what is known as Golem City in 2029, 2 years after Human Revolution. Now, it's going to be a single player only game. There is no mention of multiplayer. Maybe that could change, but I seriously doubt it. I think they're going to stick to the roots and provide a great single player experience. Now, what's really cool about Golem City is it is based on what is called the Kowloon Walled City, and think Judge Dredd. You know, the brand new Judge Dredd with that massive apartment complex type building. So there's hardly going to be any sunlight in this. It's going to be like one massive complex. Sunlight is possibly going to be very rare. You're going to have 30,000 or more people crammed into a very, very small area. Now, what's cool though is it sounds like there will be multiple cities, including Prague, which is outside of Golem City. So it sounds like you're going to be traveling to several different cities, much like Human Revolution. Now, gameplay is going to be still about third-person cover and first-person gunplay, which I think was great in Human Revolution. Remember, they had a really good stealth system, and they are also going to be offering that as well. There are going to be no fetch quests. They really want to make the quests about changing the main story arc, you know, the main storyline, influencing it in some way. So when you go to do a side mission, they want you to be able to have a reward from that. So if you help out a gang leader, he may be able to offer you some gang members to help you through the story missions. They really want these side activities to flow naturally into the story missions. So decision making is going to be king in this game. You're going to have a lot of choice and consequences, and one of the cool examples of this is the conflicting mission goals. So you're going to be balancing two factions. One is going to be Task Force 29, a branch of Interpol, and then the other one is the Juggernaut Collective. They are a hacker group, and they're going to be giving you conflicting missions, and you're going to be basically acting like a double agent. You do not trust anyone in this game, so you're going to really have to work out who you are going to be working with. So what about weapons, augmentations, and leveling? Well, of course, you can expect a ton of this in Mankind Divided. For weapons, you can expect that to actually work a lot like Crysis. You will be able to add attachments, change out ammunition and stuff like that on the fly. I mean, right then and there while you're in battle, which I love about Crysis. It was so cool to hear that this has made it into Mankind Divided. So augmentations are now going to regenerate much like Dishonored and can be quickly filled with biocells. So you will have regenerative abilities this time around. They really want you to be able to have fun, goof around with them, and use them more liberally, more so than we saw in Human Revolution. So we've got several brand new augmentations and old favorites. The first one is Telsa. It's actually a dart system that comes from your knuckles, and that can incapacitate enemies. Now, there's another ability called Casey, which analyzes conversations. This is making a big return in Mankind Divided. There's also an ability to mark and track enemies, much like Far Cry, but this time you can see the contents on the person, you know, before trying to steal items from them. Smart Vision is making a return, so you can see through most walls. The Titan Shield makes Jensen into a walking tank, so this is a newer ability. The Pep Gun does return. It is your non-lethal option. And then the Nano Blade, of course, is making an awesome return because I love this thing. It is your close quarters combat weapon, and it will provide some epic, brutal takedowns. Now, the Icarus landing system was one of my favorite things as well. You can jump from great heights and survive, but this time you can also dash horizontally, much like Advanced Warfare. And finally, for you stealth players, you can upgrade your Silent Run. So again, everything is about choice, including how you level your character. You know, I found the menu in Human Revolution to be a little bit clunky on consoles. Well, they have a remedy for that. There will be the option to assign your abilities to the D-pad now, so you can just swap them out instantly without opening up that big wheel menu. So that's going to be a really nice addition, making sure that you can get to your abilities extremely fast. So kudos to the dev team on that one. So one of the biggest complaints in Human Revolution was the awful boss battles. They were really, really bad, I'm just going to say it. And, you know, Eidos Montreal explained, hey, we just had a limited amount of time to make the boss battle, so we had to, you know, outsource that to another team. Time was, you know, an issue, but now they're actually making their own boss battles. You will be able to stealth way through the entire boss battle, you know, ghost your way through, or handle the boss battle through conversing. So you will be able to use the conversation wheel and try to really de-escalate your enemy in that manner. But for me, I'm gonna kill the dude, so I'm gonna go all out, guns a-blazing. That's how I usually roll. I bet some of you know that already from some of my live streams. But yeah, you have tons of options in this game when it comes to choice and consequence. Even when you are traveling through the actual level, you will have the choice of skipping entire areas, opening up shortcuts. Again, this is very much an open world experience. So that's really good news. I hope it has better loading times. That's what I'm really hoping for with this one. But they are running on a brand new engine, so awesome to hear that news. I can't wait for this one. So by the way, Deus Ex is here to stay for the foreseeable future. They are really investing into this franchise. In fact, they have trademarked the term Deus Ex Universe. They're really going after comics and all sorts of good stuff. And plus, they mentioned, you know, they want possibly your save files to carry through this game franchise from here on out. Of course, you will not be able to do that. Take your Human Revolution save files into Mankind Divided. Also, the Deus Ex MMO, what's going on with that? Well, that is not happening. They officially said, no, we don't have any plans right now for Deus Ex MMO, which I think is great. Build your single-player experience first. Capitalize on that. I mean, it is possible. You've got great games coming out. Batman Arkham Knight, The Witcher 3, and now, yes, Deus Ex Mankind Divided. So, good news about that. Again, this is coming out on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and it has no release date. But expect a gameplay demonstration at E3 2015 in June. So what about Cyberpunk 2077? Now, if you don't know about this game, this is from the dev team that is bringing us one of the most epic, sprawling, open-world games, you know, in recent memory. It's going up against Skyrim. It is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. And they say that Cyberpunk 2077 is actually going to be a bigger undertaking than The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which is mind-blowing to think. So, this game has no release date. Actually, the release date is when it is done. They are going to be taking their time with their baby, Cyberpunk 2077. And guys, I'm thrilled that there's so many open-world futuristic games coming up. So that's really, really awesome to see. So it will be available on all high-end platforms. That is the PC, Xbox One, and PS4, I would imagine, during its release. So, No support for Xbox 360 and the PS3, of course. Guess what? It's going to be a long time before we actually see gameplay for Cyberpunk 2077. It will not apparently be making a presence at E3 2015. I'm shocked. They are going to be focusing wholeheartedly this entire year on The Witcher 3, so that's wonderful. They're spacing out their games. They're very smart. They're not really cluttering their game releases, so that's really good to see that they are really taking their time on building their franchises. So is it a first-person shooter, a top-down game? Is it a third-person shooter? So it is open world completely. It's going to be a lot like The Witcher 3, but in a futuristic dystopian city that has that cyberpunk flair. You know, think Blade Runner. That's really one of their big influences here. But it is going to have both third person and first person. So for those of us that really like our RPG where we can actually deck out our character and see the result most of the time, you do have that option to play in third person, it seems. So it sounds like they're really going, I mean, completely all out with this one. And by the way, will be a single player or multiplayer experience. So the core experience is going to be mostly single player. That's what they have stated. But it will actually offer some sort of multiplayer component. How extensive it will be, I'm not too sure. But it sounds like they're going to be trying and making an attempt to step into the multiplayer arena in some way. Knowing CD Projekt Red, I trust them. I think they're going to do it properly. I mean, look at their previous games. All of them have been like AAA titles that have received high praise. So I expect multiplayer to be something very special with this game. You know, a lot of RPGs these days are saying, we're going classless. We're going to let you have complete freedom. Well, Cyberpunk 2077 is going to the traditional routes. They will be offering a class-based system. So you can expect to be replaying the game and experiencing it in different ways through the classes. The location is really cool, by the way. It's called Night City, and it is squashed between San Francisco and LA, and it is going to be quite a criminal nest, I guess you can say, and pretty dark and gritty. So definitely my type of game. Can't wait to try it. So much like The Witcher 3, expect sex to be a theme in this game. Expect it to be, in other words, a more mature game. The Witcher 3 isn't all about sex, of course. It's more of a mature themed game. It's got its violence, racism, great storytelling, and then, of course, sex. So, you know, their CGI trailer, that was a Playboy model. They've always used, like, models and stuff like that for their games. So, again, expect this to be a rated M for mature game for sure. So what really sucks about Cyberpunk 2077, and this is the only thing I can think of, is it has no release date, and it sounds like we won't be hearing from it for quite some time, which really is a bummer. I just hope that we see some sort of gameplay eventually. I cannot freaking wait to see this in action. So guys, stay tuned right here to Open World Games, because I will definitely have the gameplay right here on this channel, and any information about these two games, Deus Ex Mankind and Cyberpunk 2077. So real quickly, yes, Rockstar previously mentioned that they are very interested in making a futuristic GTA 6. They said they might not be doing it anytime soon, but they definitely want to do it, and I say go for it. It is time. You know, I'm sort of sick of the usual smusual American cities, New York City, etc. It's really nice to see something different like Cyberpunk Mankind and Mankind Divided. But my question is, what would you guys like to see from a GTA 6, a futuristic Grand Theft Auto? Would you like to see the next one going futuristic? I think it would work really well as long as they have more of a serious tone to it and they don't make it like a Saints Row, because, you know, Saints Row, when you think about futuristic open world games, you probably think about the silly nature for Saints Row. But I am going to include the article about the futuristic open world GTA 6 down below. And by the way, expect futuristic open world games to become the trend. It's going to be a big thing 2015, 2016, and I would expect oversaturation to be coming soon. You will be probably getting sick of futuristic games shortly, which is good news, because I think we will be returning to World War II after that. which would be badass when that happens. So I can't wait for the oversaturation and then returning to another great era. So post your ideas once again down below about GTA 6. So remember, Star Wars is going to be everywhere, and I'm going to include a link in the description to my previous video about the open world Star Wars game. But what you need to know about that is that Polygon reported that yes, EA is working on an open world Star Wars game. It's going to be built around the Batman Arkham game design in an open world. Hopefully it is on Coruscant. It's about a bounty hunter, and you get tons of gadgets to goof around with, and you're parkouring yourself across the rooftops with the jetpack. Now that sounds freaking awesome to me. Let me know what you guys want to see from an open world Star Wars game, but you can definitely expect more news about that shortly. And again, I did an entire video about the open world Star Wars game and a Star Wars 1313 revival, and of course Star Wars Battlefront, so be sure to check it out in the description below. So the future is looking bright. So there it is, the open world futuristic games that are coming up. They look awesome. I'm so thrilled to hear about open world futuristic games, you know, get away from that modern day American setting. So guys, let me know what you would like to see from an open world futuristic setting. You know what I would like to see is Fifth Element made into an open world game. Can you imagine that? But guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always, be sure to stay tuned right here to Open World Games. Subscribe on YouTube, check us out on Facebook and Twitter, and I will see you guys next time.